Previously on the Motion Picture Nation.
And that's all she wrote.
Now you're dead.
Dude, were you standing in the cat litter?
No, I wasn't.
Dude!
I'm sorry.
Look, before we do this, can you just let me finish my spoiler review?
That chance, loser.
I'm gonna give it a good review.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll be right outside the door. But when the review's over, you're dead.
Leave the cat alone, okay?
I'm not gonna hurt the cat. I'm not Alf.
Okay, so it's time to get into spoilers for Scream 7. Alright, so as far as the whole, stew thing goes, because Kevin Williamson had this original idea for Scream 3 where there was, basically a cult of stew, or so I've heard. Now, personally, I think that might be a little bit far-fetched. Stu seemed pretty damn dead, but they have been, hinting at the idea that he might come back, and honestly, the way this movie handled it, I think was perfect, because we got Stu, sort of. Stu is dead. Okay, but the killers in this film use a deep fake, basically, of Stu, and his face is all scarred up and stuff. And it's actually Matthew Lillard, and you can tell that Matthew Lillard is just having the time of his life with this movie. He's in his glory, reprising his role as Stu, and he's really funny. I mean, there were several times where, all of us in the audience were just cracking up listening to him. So I liked that whole, it was a way for them to kind of pay the fan service, to kind of bring Stu back, but also, again, keep it a little bit grounded, As far as the deep fake thing goes, the only criticism I have, and honestly, it's a tiny little criticism, is they have other deep fakes of Billy's mother and Roman and Dewey, and they all look noticeably older. It's especially if it's supposed to be a deep fake, why don't you de-age them? I mean, that didn't make much sense to me, but literally, when I say that's the only problem I had with this movie, that's the only problem I had with this movie. There's no big reveal with the killers or anything like that. And, I kind of figured it was going to be the two that it was. Actually, technically, there were three. One of them was a psychiatric patient that was killed, halfway through the movie, all right? And then the, psych ward guy was one of the killers. And it's easy to figure out that it was him when you start to realize that these are deep fakes and it's not really Stu. You're sort of oh, well, it's got to be that guy because his story doesn't match up. And then the other killer was this chick from True Blood, and it was kind of a Mickey situation with her, where it's she just sort of disappears for a honking chunk of the movie, and it's I wonder, So there's nothing no great revelation about any character reveals or anything like that. It's just a Scream movie, and it has the typical Scooby-Doo ending where they're monologuing about what their plan is and stuff like that. If you're gonna pick on that, you don't like Scream movies, frankly, I'm happy that Joel McHale's character survives. I was going to say it's a little unrealistic because he gets stabbed to shit, but did you guys see Scream 6? Everybody's a human pincushion in that movie. None of them should have lived through anything that happened to them. So that, and the fact that, I'm with Gale Weathers from Scream 6. Sydney deserves her happy ending. She deserves her happy ending. And the fact that it was more about, her daughter this time, again, Halloween H2O vibes. And that was very explicitly what they were going for. Now, if the studio is smart, this will be it. This will be the final Scream movie. I kind of doubt it. But whether it is or it isn't, we can enjoy it for what it is. The kills in this film were sick in both senses of the word. Right in the beginning when they're checking out the Stu Macher's house, which is basically at this point become a museum. It's that boyfriend and girlfriend. You can see it in the trailer. The boyfriend gets stabbed in the side of his head, right? And as the knife is going in, you can see his eye kind of turn upward and pop out a little. And it was ah, everybody in the audience was oh, there's another scene where McKenna Grace, because they're all in the theater department, and she's supposed to be flying, because I think they were doing Peter Pan. I don't know what the hell, but they had her like up on strings. So the killer comes onto the stage, kills the technical guy, the stage crew dude, and then basically like has her up there like kind of swinging, and he steps up below her with the knife and goes and just her guts spill out on the stage. And I was like, oh man, that was gnarly. And then there's another really awesome kill where the killer picks up this dude, right, and takes his head, and there's this beer tap that's got like sort of almost like a steeple on top. Think Hot Fuzz with Timothy Dalton, where he's like, I think I need some ice cream, but it's like the back of his head. The killer just like impales him on this thing. The steeple's coming up through the top of his head, and then beer and blood is just like pouring out of his mouth. And it's like, dude, that's awesome. These are some of like, I think, the best kills in the franchise, frankly. I mean, this film was like a love letter to fans, but not in a way that I feel, didn't feel earned or anything like that. I think that Kevin Williamson was like, okay, let's redirect the course of this franchise. Let's give Sydney a really good send-off, and send her out into the sunset with her family. And I think that that's what he did. Again, unfortunately, Halloween H2O wasn't the last one. We got Halloween Resurrection after that. So you never know. The studio's all about that sweet, sweet cash. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, I reiterate, I do not understand the hate for this film. I like Jeremy Jahns giving this a dog shit rating. Blows my mind. Absolutely blows. Respectfully, I like Jeremy Jahns. I respectfully disagree with him, but damn, dude, it's more brutal than the freaking killers in this movie. All right, anyhow, guys, now we can get into the nitty-gritty. Now we can talk about the details. Anybody got any theories? Do you think I'm wrong about anything? Let me know below. I appreciate you watching. Consider subscribing, and that's all she wrote. It's finally over.
Hey, all those times that I called you fat?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. You're not fat.
Oh, well. Thanks, man, I guess.
I'm just kidding. You're fat.